Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new
Yeah,
video.
hello.
We're gonna be talking about the shit LA Times article that Esme did and the fair share that Ashley also got. And Beatrice will be sending in videos later mainly because of the time difference. She doesn't live in Sweden, obviously, so you'll see them later on. Okay, so what are your thoughts about it? The article.
I mean, it's just shit. The whole, again, this trafficking thing, I don't, I mean, the definition of human trafficking involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of label or commercial sex act. I mean, and they use like force or coercion to lure their victims. How the hell did he do that according to her? I don't get it. She willingly got herself on the plane.
Yeah.
Just because the so-called video, not so-called, it was I want to kill you like they do in the movies, it didn't manifest. So
yeah,
apparently then it's human trafficking. Do you realize do we all just realize how many people in LA who can then say they've been trafficked by anyone
it's a
in the
shit
film
ton.
in the
It's a
film
shit ton.
industry? Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't get it. So we should expect like shitloads of people filing lawsuits against I don't know how many directors or whatnot because stuff didn't manifest.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, it's a mockery to actual trafficking victims. So
forced labor. How was it forced? I mean, she went to LA to film this, and then she went back to UK. He even visited her in the UK, apparently. So what was forced? She can't say no. She had no one in the UK who would be any type of support for her to be like, no. She met him once, and then for a couple of days, and then flew back, and then she was just under his spell, apparently. No, she was apparently under his spell before she came.
Yeah.
To LA, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And she was actually hired for the job, so she obviously accepted it. So she knew what was going to happen. She knew about it.
Yeah, and that's not forced labor. That's actually paid labor. That's hired labor. So what the fuck? And the fact that they actually bring up his the book as well.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
As some form of evidence is just no. Can we just stop doing that? Or not we? Can they stop doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even half the book is real, so to speak.
But
I mean, it's written by Neil Strauss, right?
Yeah.
And he is a guy who is really into horror, so Manson sent his original story in to have it twisted, and then
to make more shock value and more.
So the first thing I want to talk about is towards the beginning of the article. It says Bianco's suit, the furthest along among 4 civil suits pending against Manson, could take years to resolve. Hopefully not. But it has already changed how the world sees the artist. Okay, so about that. Did this really change how the world sees the artist, or was it because of journalists like you? I mean, honestly, if this was all done behind closed doors, in the court system, things like that, it wouldn't be sensationalized. It wouldn't be headline news. Manson's career wouldn't be, damaged as much as it is. It's articles like this that only show the negative things about Manson that is what's damaging his career and is affecting how the world sees the artist. So, if anyone is to blame for that, it's you, LA Times, it's you, People Magazine, it's you, Rolling Stone Magazine. I could go on and on. It's definitely because of these journalists, why the world sees Manson in a different light. And it's also because of the accusers, because they're the ones who came out, like, on Instagram and publicized all of this. They knew what they were doing. They wanted to try to destroy his career, and this was the best way for them to go about that. And it's sick, and it's extremely disturbing, and it's frustrating, and it's sad, but it's the accuser's fault, and it's the journalist's fault. That's why the world sees the artist in a different view. When I started dating my ex, I was 16. I remember there was a time when my mom tried to stop me from going to see him, and I wanted to see him. And she was blocking me in the hallway. And she told me, "You're not going." And I was like, "Oh, watch me, yes I am." And I ended up shoving her out of the hallway. Well, she shoved me back. But the point is, when you're a teenager, you're in such a different mindset. You're growing. You're an adolescent. You barely experience life. You make mistakes. Humans in general make mistakes. Teenagers tend to make more mistakes, in general. And that kind of stuff happens. But what people fail to realize is Manson did have a very loving and caring relationship with his mother. He dedicated the Pale Emperor album, I believe it was the Pale Emperor, he dedicated that album to his mom. He took care of her, he took care of his parents financially, and just the fact that none of that gets mentioned in any of his press, and all they keep referring to is what he wrote in his book, The Long Hard Road Out of Hell, about an incident that occurred between him and his mom. I mean, that's sick. I mean, are you really going to hold something like that against him? It's frustrating as a fan to read something like this, to see something like this being held against him, especially when you know the opposite. When you know how much he loves his parents, how much he did for his family. It's maddening. Like, this is sick, and LA Times should have never published this. They should have never put this in their article at all. They just shouldn't have. It shouldn't be mentioned. It shouldn't be a point whatsoever. Because kids make mistakes, alright? Minors make mistakes. And, I have 2 teenage boys and an almost teenage daughter of my own. And trust me when I say we butt heads a lot. Because it's the stage that they're in. Of growth, it's the stage that they're in. It's expected that teenagers are going to act a certain way. Like, what doesn't the media get about this? Why do they think automatically that means Manson's an abusive person? I'm not an abusive person. And I told you what I did with my mother when I was 16. It's pointless to even try to connect those 2 dots.
So, yeah. What's your thought on all of this?
Yeah,
well, not all of this, but this.
My thought is that it's. Well, first of all, I had to keep myself from laughing while reading it just like an hour ago. Because it's ridiculous. I mean, they keep referring to "I want to kill you" like they do in the movies. Also, I have my computer on the side, so if I look at the side, it's because I have the article there, and because of the book thing. And the thing about he's so much worse than his persona. I mean, come on. I mean, first of all,
How?
Yeah.
How?
And besides,
in what way? Explain, please.
Yeah. Besides, somebody's public persona is not the same thing as reality. So that's just weird.
But the thing is that I don't understand. If he's so much worse than his persona,
Yeah.
and they saw it and they knew it, leave. What? I don't understand how they can say he was so. They were so mesmerized and just in his spell or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That they could not leave
Yeah.
when they all fucking worked and did other things while they were so-called with him. And so, yeah, you left. You were in another country.
And besides, she also got a visa, not a visa, but green card a couple of years later. So she chose to stay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's, I don't understand how it's him forcing them or urging them, or they were under his spell to stay.
Yeah.
You left and you came back. So, like Ashley.
Yeah.
Well, according to her.
Yeah.
So that doesn't add up. When people are usually, I should say, when people are coerced and in control of someone else, they're literally in control. They're not allowed to even have their phone. They're not in control of who's talking to them. They can hardly ever leave the home, if they can ever leave the home.
Yeah.
These women were going back and forth to different countries. They had access to social media. They had access to talking to people.
Yeah.
You work. I mean, it just doesn't add up.
No.
How were they controlled? No, it just sounds ridiculous. And to portray themselves as they were just innocent little schoolgirls who had no idea what certain types of obscure or stuff.
Yeah. About schoolgirls.
Just
both Evan and Esme has dressed like one, so.
Yeah, this picture with her this photo they took of her is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it basically just screamed, "Look, I'm innocent."
Yeah, like she's covered up Christian schoolgirl, and we all know she's not.
No.
And second of all, she's a grown woman. You're not a fucking schoolgirl.
No.
Sorry for. I mean, just. And they bring up this so-called misdemeanor assault. That is him spitting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest and say that spit is it's gross. Because nobody wants saliva, but it's also included in basically every concert ever, because I think it is that if you drink too much water, it's not good for your voice, so people have to spit out their water, and sometimes they just have to spit because of saliva in their mouths. And they spit it out, and whether it was, usually they intend to either spit on stage or spit out on the crowd, and sometimes it lands on the camera, whether it was intentional or not. So
again, I mean, I've been to many metal concerts.
Yeah, me too.
There's been a lot of spit. And that just comes with a thing. And not only that, I mean, I posted a picture of, what's her name? Oh, Hannah Montana. No,
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, exactly. Yeah, that's her name. Oh, okay.
No, she's secretly Hannah Montana.
Spitting. Yeah, exactly. She's spitting. Like, just fucking blowing whatever out. And last time I checked, I don't put her in the category of metal.
No.
Music. So, I mean, stop it. Just fucking stop.
I mean, I saw a symphonic black metal band called Karakangren a little more than 2 years ago with my best friend at a festival where we were going to see Dimmu Borgir and lots of other great bands. And during the song Blood Queen, he brings out like this doll of a naked girl, and during like the last 1 or 2 minutes, he slits her throat, he sucks the fake blood up, and he spits it out of the crowd. And during that one concert, me and my best friend, we were in the front row in the middle, so we got a lot of fake blood spit on us.
And they even just bring out the whole groupie thing again. Can we drop it? I mean, just drop it.
Yeah.
Manson is said to have held a young woman at gunpoint, whipped her, and forced her to drink urine on camera.
I mean,
and Paula has come out and said it's her. Just stop bringing it up like evidence that, oh my God, this was so horrible. He killed her, and before that she had to drink urine and what? Nah, she's alive. She's not dead. Stop it.
And she looks great.
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, this was her hired job to do, and no, it wasn't urine.
No.
You know, they can actually, they can fake urine. Don't worry. It doesn't, you don't have to drink urine. It's
no.
fake. Don't worry.
In the film industry, you fake a lot of fluids, so it's no problem.
Yeah, you fake a lot. Otherwise, we wouldn't have any actors or actresses because they would all be dead.
What I want to know is why did the media give so little attention to these people who have contacted LA Times, who had interviews with LA Times for this article, talking about positive things about Manson? Why did the media give them such little time but so much bad press in this article? No, it's because bad press sells. And like I just said, that's sad. I mean, if they're gonna, be a true journalist, they just publish the whole story here, not just bits and pieces that fit the narrative they're trying to push. And that's exactly what's going on here. And that's why I say, LA Times, you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And
the thing about him, just the Nazi thing. Look, I don't have a problem with anyone collecting whatever they want to collect.
No,
as long as it's legal to collect, go ahead. Whatever is your hobby or interest, go for it. Whatever makes you happy. I don't care. I don't care if it's Nazi stuff or not.
No.
And I don't think there's a problem, as I've talked to you and Beatrice. The whole thing about people being so afraid of Nazi stuff or Nazi memorabilia, I should say.
Yeah.
Look, if we don't know, this is my opinion, and my opinion is this: if we don't know our history, we can't protect or protect our future.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to erase everything that is connected to the Nazis and what happened and how it happened, how it came to light, and how it just evolved and was such a good big force, how the hell are we going to be able to protect our future if people don't know about this? And so why should we just hide it and censor it and forget about it and pretty much just burn everything that has to do with it? No.
Yeah.
Second of all, Hugo Boss did design stuff for them. Come on.
Yeah.
And just And the Nazis took so many things that were connected to other religions or other eras. The eagle, I mean, Caesar is Roman also. We have that.
Yeah.
And even in Greece, we have that type of eagle. So when I see actually that eagle, I see Roman stuff, and I see this is my Italian and Greek heritage, because we have that. And the swastika is also not. Why can't we also change it to not being connected to the Nazis? Because it's not.
I mean, it wasn't to begin with, but then the Nazis came and ruined it.
So why? So why are we just hiding that symbol instead of maybe trying to actually portray it to what it was from the beginning, from the first, on their first origin? And also, again, why should we hide the fact that this happened? Learn from it, and we can only learn from it if we know that it existed and it happened. Stop censoring it. And I don't give a shit if you collect. I know people who actually collect Nazi memorabilia because they think the history is important. And also,
me too.
Yeah, and they think it's and also that they think the stuff looks nice. So I mean, I collect stuff I think looks beautiful, and I have had people come to my home and say, "Ooh, this is nasty," and almost regurgitating because of the stuff, because they think it looks so it's nasty. And to me, it's beautiful to have skulls or wet specimens or dried parts, I should say. I like it. It's beautiful to me, and it's ugly to others. Okay. And then the thing is also that, like Walter said in the interview, he manipulates the whole thing to keep people scared and isolated. When he's like, "Oh, you're my sister, we're family." Okay, how is this man not allowed to feel like a friend or even a employee? Is part of his family. So that's manipulating. So everything he does, I mean, they're really putting in like everything he does, doesn't matter what it is he's always manipulating people, no matter what. He must be the biggest psychopath that's ever walked this earth.
Okay, so because I see my best friend as my little brother, am I a psychopath?
Exactly. No, you're not. I don't no.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And that Bailey,
crazy portal chick.
I can't. I wanted to say portal chick because that's my name for her. Just fucking stop. Just stop. I mean, oh God, no. No, I can't stand her shit. Like,
no, me neither.
With the art and come on, stop.
And the gun thing and the F-slur thing, it's what?
No, stop. I mean, they pretty much want Manson to just hide, not exist. Just because they came out with these allegations, he should just drop from the face of the earth and not do anything, because everything he does is triggering, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, he can't even fucking go out and eat lunch. I mean, without them having something to say.
Yeah, I mean, don't look at it. Don't look at him.
It just proves that you're more or less stalking him.
Yeah, because if you're if they pretty much wake up and just go like, "Oh yeah, let's see what Manson's doing."
Yeah.
Why? If it's so triggering and you're gonna get so much anxiety regarding whatever is connected to him.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you look up things?
Yeah. I don't understand either. It's
trying to find
It's
what's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And second of all, there's also a reason why you all took it to civil court, because you knew your fucking evidence wouldn't last 2 minutes in a criminal court. I don't think it would even go up to criminal court, to court. Yeah.
I mean, in civil court, you can just sue anybody left and right, and the other party would have to prove their innocence instead of the burden being on you. So
yeah. So remember that all your spit incidents at concerts, every fucking artist must shit themselves.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
You go watch Colonel Kurtz's channel. She recently did an interview with Zach Schiffer, and he was around a lot for, I believe it was the World Tour. It was when Manson was with Evan and she was on tour with him. And he even said in this interview that Evan's family was there, I think, for 2 different concerts. Like, they were around. He met her family. So, also, there's the pictures of Florida with Manson with Evan and her family. So, for everyone to say that she was isolated, that's crap. She wasn't isolated.
Manson had isolated her from her family and, didn't allow them there and everything else. Well, we, my small group of friends, we had actually met her parents at, I believe it was Miami. It was at the Hard Rock. I believe it was at Miami or something like that. But we were backstage and we actually got to meet them. And, the reason I'm bringing that up is it's like, if he's so hell-bent on keeping her separated, like, would you really give them VIP and like to an open bar and like just the whole VIP experience of being back there if you were trying to keep them away?
And the thing that everybody has said about Trent Reznor, that he is not a friend of Manson because that he has assaulted women. That's not it. It's about something that Manson wrote about him in his book.
So
that's, it has nothing with any of this to do. I think even Trent said that at one point.
And then changed it.
Yeah. I don't know if they listened to, I think it was an interview that he did, but he said that it had nothing with any of this to do. It was just personal things.
Yeah. I mean, they're twisting a lot of things just to fit their narrative. I mean, we know that, and they've done it the whole time regarding Manson.
Because he's an easy target.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're gonna just see what the thing, what's fucking Ashley? Oh my god,
which one of them?
The famous in Asia, one. She, I think it was the People, interview where she just several times said he looks odd. He's odd, he's so odd. He looks strange.
Yeah.
Also, then he's an easy target, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't fit what's normal in society. How can we in this started in, we can say 2021.
Yeah.
Still look at some people and think, oh, this is odd. He looks odd. So therefore he must be, or she must be like this and that. We're still doing that?
Apparently.
Yeah. So the thing to have just to be more open-minded and whatnot, it just applies to some people apparently.
Yeah.
But regarding Manson, no, attack him because he's been around for so long. He's not a new strange thing. So we could still attack him. Okay, because he's strange. He looks strange.
Apparently.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's just fucked up. So it doesn't apply to him. It just applies to everyone new.
Yeah.
Okay. We are talking about grown women.
Yeah.
We just look at him and go like, oh, he's strange. Oh, he looks odd.
And a lot of people that are around our age comment stuff like that. But he looks like that. What did they expect? I mean, yeah.
No, just because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean that they are a certain way. Or
no, exactly.
I mean, if they wouldn't look at my boyfriend when he's on stage,
yeah,
the whole band looks odd and they look strange, and it's blood, and
yeah,
it's smelly.
of course.
Yeah,
It's what you'd expect from concerts.
yeah. No, but they on stage, I mean, there's stuff. It's just fake. It's blood and some. I don't know if it's real blood actually. I think cow or pig blood, and they have corpse paint and whatnot on, and they look, and the outfits, so they look scary.
Yeah, I think Mayhem and Marduk does the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, with Tane, it smells like shit. Yeah. I mean, it's rotten. It's fucking dry, rotten, half rotten and dried animals on stage.
And I think, does Gorgoroth do that too?
Yeah, they've had. I posted about that. They had they had people on crosses. So no, so he's not shocking at all.
No, I mean, I don't know if you've probably seen him a couple of times, and I have too. But like, he's not scary on stage. If I'm gonna be honest.
No.
But I guess you could say that he does some weird things on stage, like cutting his hand, for example. Fucking fly. But that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're moving on to the topic that they would like to call changing the laws to protect the victims. What do you have to say?
Well, I think it's we've said it before. Evan, she has this whole thing is her political career in action.
Yeah.
This 10-year statute of limitation doesn't apply on everyone actually. So in 2020, several of them could have gone to criminal court.
Yeah.
But they chose civil court, and there's a reason, as we've said before. It's because their so-called evidence would not. There's no evidence, so it wouldn't have gone up to criminal court at all.
And they want they want his money.
Yeah, to say that they want him to be accountable and jail time. They have said jail time. He won't receive it. So, I mean,
it's just, we're not sitting here saying that they're dumb, but this whole thing is just dumb.
Yeah, and the thing is, this whole Phoenix Act also, Evan and Esme has gone up to the committee and talked about it. Esme was in 2019 and Evan was 18 even. Okay, great. And Evan in what, 17, 18?
Yeah, Evan was in 2018 and Esme was like a couple months later, so 18, 19.
Both, 18, 19. Yet they did not know each other or had any idea the fact that they were being abused until fall, because I have to emphasize also fall, 2020. 2020. How could they go? Yeah, exactly, because they're lying. That's just based on that thing alone. Is just says this whole thing is a fucking coordinated attack. He's an easy target. They are lying because they had no idea they were abused until fall 2020. Yet they're in front of a committee.
I'm gonna be honest and say that the Phoenix Act the idea itself is a good idea. But I also think that they're sort of abusing the power that they get from it. Especially now that they've named Manson as their abuser. And I think that's only a way for them to advertise the Phoenix Act.
Yeah, and like jumpstart her political career. I mean, this again, I agree. The Phoenix Act would have been a good thing because there are abused women and men out there.
Yeah.
And boys and girls, I should say, also.
Yeah.
Who need help. And it's the same with the whole Me Too movement.
Yeah.
It started as a good thing, but why the fuck are they? People are using it as a way to jumpstart a career.
Yeah.
It's not used that it was intended to.
No.
Be used as. And I think the whole feminism thing is just a way for some women and many women to behave like shitheads.
Yeah.
To behave abusive, actually, and get away with it just by the fact that they are women. And just the fact that, and also the whole thing we have, the society has, that nobody believes a man when he says he's been abused by a woman.
Yeah.
That is so fucked up. Just they're not even trying to look for any evidence like we actually have found, and what they have actually given us ourselves. We didn't even have to dig deep or dig anything. It was just
there.
Look at the Phoenix Act. Yeah, it was just there in plain sight.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just the fact that that people, or women I should say, know that, okay, I can hit you, I can be abusive, and nobody will ever believe you because you're a man. That's horrible.
Yeah.
So. And great that Kanye supported Manson.
Yeah.
Why is that a problem for people? Don't look at it again. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
I mean, I can understand why people are a bit mad at him for inviting a DaBaby on stage because he said some homophobic shit not too long ago. But
I had no idea.
No, he basically said that the classic gay man has AIDS and whatnot. I think there's a clip about it. You can look it up, but Manson, I can understand why, because Kanye knows what he's been in within the cancel culture for God knows how many times. So
I'm thinking this whole DaBaby thing. I have no idea what he said, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah.
And that's, if someone says that, it shows that they're uneducated on the subject. And I think somehow this is just my thoughts and my opinion and my theory behind it all. I think Kanye wants to show support, but also in a way show that people can change, people can educate themselves and change their opinion, and therefore be like, okay, I know what I said, I said it, I have educated myself, and it was wrong.
Yeah.
And if we can't show support to someone trying to change or trying to educate themselves and become a better person, then we should all drop dead when we say one thing wrong. You know what I mean? So I think perhaps that's his thought on having DaBaby on.
Yeah, I mean, could be. I actually don't know.
Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud that it can be like, okay, we can all help each other to become better people.
Yeah.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if your pussy smell like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas.
Lights up.
Fellas, if you ain't sucking nigga dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone like
Let's be real about this shit.
Yeah, keep it fucking real.
We say shit, own it, move on. Just as we want people, some of these, well, I should say all, but I'm just gonna point out just some of these accusers to, okay, you did it, own it, admit it was wrong, admit that you did not have a 3-year relationship with Manson.
Yeah.
Admit it, learn from this, move on, become better, you know? That's just my thought.
Yeah, I agree.
This is going to be a wonderful collaboration. I hope that there's more things between Manson and Kanye or Ye or Ye or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I guess Ye. But anyway, I hope there's more collaborations between them in the future. I really think it's great to see someone finally sticking their neck out there and saying, hey, yeah, there's a lot of bad press against this guy, but I'm going to support him. I'm going to stick my neck out, and I'm going to support him because I don't care what other people think. And I don't see an issue with him inviting him to the church service. I don't see an issue with any of this. In fact, I think it's great. I love seeing Manson back out in public, in the public eye. And, I look forward to seeing that happen more. And I hope it does. I hope this continues. I hope we start to see a shift with Manson being seen in the public, with the public eye. Hopefully with these journalistic articles. I'm really hoping that there can be a positive shift coming soon. And, until then, we're still going to be here. We're going to be here talking about all this. We're going to be giving the other side, since the journalist holds. We're not going to stop. We have our Exposing Ashley Instagram page. We're going to continue updating that if anything comes up. There's just so much that isn't being said, that needs to be said, that should be known. And, until it gets known, we're going to do the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, and about the Sunday service thing, I think it's great that Manson did it, if I'm gonna be honest. Because I think that it's not just Kanye showing support for Manson, but it's also Manson showing support for Kanye, who is a Christian, and showing support for those who are Christians. And I think that overall, I think it's just a great thing. And I also think that he's recovering from his addiction that he's had for many years. And I think that this is just a way for him to further, get better,
Yeah, I think he's ever evolving as a person, like we all are, I hope. We all are.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with him evolving? I don't get it.
No,
like,
me neither.
I know for a fact I was like, oh, what's this about?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I thought that. I'm not gonna say anything else. And I was like, what the hell? Okay, let me see this. And whatever makes him happy, whatever makes him feel good about himself, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm all for it. I don't care who it is. As long as it's legal and you're not hurting anyone, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
So
and
nice to see.
Yeah. And I think that it's great that he's starting to make public appearances again. Because he's been suffering in silence, so to speak, for these past few months. So I think it's just good that he's showing his face in public again. And
but I think it's been a good strategy as well to not be
to not attack anybody.
No, not only attack. I don't think to not go to the media with anything, because I don't think the media would have. I think they would have angled it to a negative thing anyways.
Yeah.
And he knew they were. I'm not going to say that he knew. I think he knew that they were going to do that. So therefore he kept quiet. This is a legal matter. Keep it legal. Keep it within the legal system that is now the civil court. Media has nothing to do with it. This whole media frenzy thing that we just have to blur out every fucking thing that we do or someone has done to you. Can we stop this gossip thing? Because it's just gossip.
Yeah.
Basically.
Absolutely.
It's like a mockery to the legal system even.
Yeah.
To have like, okay, we need public opinion to come to be on our side. So let's just blast shit out in the media. So this will be the truth. Propaganda, basically. If we say it enough times, if we have enough people thinking like we do, then this is the truth. No, it's propaganda, actually. Because you're just showing one side. You're just feeding people this side. It's propaganda. That's how propaganda works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fucking stupid. But it's like making a mockery of the legal system as well. Because you're swaying so many to that propaganda truth that the legal system almost gets forced to bend over backwards for that narrative. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really stupid of Evan to just not attack, not name anybody, but I think we can sort of figure out who she's attacking on her stories on basically a daily basis.
I mean, the sheer amount of energy she's pushing on. I mean, just on her fucking Instagram, and I mean, it's just wow. She has a lot of free time.
Apparently.
and she thinks a lot about Manson as well.
Yeah.
He must consume her mind.
Yeah.
So that's obsessive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about what Ashley said about the Sunday service. Re-traumatized. Is that even a word?
Yeah, I don't know. But even if, don't look at it.
No.
What the fuck are you actively looking at it? If he's on a Sunday service, don't look at it. If it bothers you so much. She just wants him to disappear from the face of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not bother. Re-traumatize her. Yeah, don't look at it. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically just shows that she's stalking every step that he takes, which is disgusting. Not just disgusting, but disturbing in a way.
Yeah, it's disturbing. And the thing is that if she has friends or family sending her that stuff, here's a tip for you. Tell them not to, because it re-traumatizes you so much that you just get so much anxiety you can't function, apparently. So don't tell them not to send it to you anymore, that you can't look at anything that has anything to do with Manson, which probably will be also extremely pale skin, but
no. So
it's just so fucking stupid.
It is. And I
mean, they're really just jumping on anything to get a little bit of media coverage.
I mean, it's like vampires sucking blood. They're living off of it.
Yeah. And to say that they don't get any money from this is bullshit, because it's paid advertisement.
I mean, it said so on Ashley's Instagram.
Yeah, it's a paid
partnership.
So come on. Yeah, sorry, wrong word I used. Yeah, it's a paid partnership. Come on. Come on now.
Nah.
And it's a federal lawsuit.
So
it's FBI checking him. I mean, investigating him, and it's been said several times that there's no active investigation. Right.
Yeah, I
and
think
yet
they
they are
only
saying
did.
it's acted.
Yeah, I think they only. I mean, the LAPD did like a police swarm around his house just to, you know. I don't know if it was investigating, but I think that it was like more of a wellness check or whatever. And apparently that was triggering to everybody. Because I think that if I don't think that the LAPD found anything, so that's why there has not been any updates since February, and I think that's why it hasn't gone up to criminal court, other than them wanting cash. To say
But yet they're
that it's a
saying,
federal charge is stupid.
She did the whole thing where she filmed herself singing and flipped off Marilyn Manson. And then she sang "Cry Little Sister" with her little band she has with her, and I think his name is Zane or whatever. And so she can go out and she can do all this stuff, to try to smear his name, possibly to try to get his attention too, which I think was the whole point of doing "Cry Little Sister." But yet she can't comment for the story. That's intriguing. And when I first read this, I was like, oh, really? Okay. So for once, she learned how to shut her mouth.
but other people close to Manson are saying that there's no investigation at all. So that's very interesting to me.
And also, I think that even if it would have been that fucking awful, I don't think that Johnny Depp would still be friends with him.
No, I mean, he has a lot of people supporting him.
Yeah.
More than it's viewed on in this type of media, at least I should say, like LA Times and whatnot. So, no. And come on, I'm gonna be honest here. Like, well, I'm trying to be honest all the time, but
Same.
Wouldn't Lindsay's own family be like, Lindsay, you have to get away from him. He's mental. Yeah. If he was so fucking mental,
Yeah.
You're being abused. Can't you see it? Like, are we really gonna say that her whole family just left her hanging there like, yeah, whatever, man. We don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, and I think she even has a twin sister, so I think that she would have noticed, I mean, pretty much immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a twin sister, and I could say that she would have noticed changes in just the way I am. I'm not saying necessarily changes like have bruises or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
Just your behavior and your mental well-being.
Yeah.
Because, that's why I find it so difficult to understand, like Evan, for example.
Yeah.
She said she had almost no contact with her parents when she was with Manson, and we have debunked that several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's even with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the hell did her parents must then be the worst fucking parents ever.
Yeah.
How could they not see that she was abused if she was so much abused by him?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing.
Yeah, and no, it doesn't add up.
Yeah, and they're also mentioning the LA Times. They're mentioning Dan Cleary, and he says that he regrets not speaking out sooner. And my theory is that he wouldn't have much to say because he was a guitar tech for 2 tours over the course of like a year each time. So, and as a guitar tech, you tend to, fix the guitars and do more sound check than actually spend some time with the artist themselves. So what would he have to say?
The extent of the relationship is, if you want to call it a relationship, is just pure business, and you're supposed to make sure everything works with the guitars.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand either. I'm gonna put an example that from Israeli, and I haven't read his book, but it's in his book, and he has mentioned it in an interview that I've watched several times when he was at the Gröna Lund in 2015, I think. He worked as a roadie for Jimi Hendrix just before he died, and the amount of communication they had was basically like that. It was nothing, because he had a lot of other things to do, and Jimmy also had a lot of other things to do, so they barely saw each other.
Yeah, I mean it's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. It's just, and you're taking, and even if I'm thinking just out loud here, even if he saw something, could he have seen that has any type of evidence value?
Yeah.
First off, and second of all, if he saw something, if he saw Manson being, for example, if he saw Manson being rude and yelling, do you know the whole context behind it? First of all, most likely not. Second of all, is Manson is he not allowed to ever display any type of emotion except happiness?
Apparently not.
No, I mean, that is just mental. Like, he cannot have a bad day or be tired or be angry that something is not working. I mean, it's normal. It happens. I think, Manson is allowed to have bad days too, and he's allowed to express himself. And sometimes we don't always express ourselves nice.
Yeah. I mean,
come on. Just because he's yay tall and is a man, does he have to be like a little lamb all the time so people won't be scared of him because he looks so scary?
No, he doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it's just ridiculous to be like, oh yeah, I saw him screaming and throwing a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the context? What happened? I don't know, but I just came in and was screaming at whomever. And he threw the bottle. Okay, so you have no idea what happened. You have no idea what the context was around this.
Yeah.
And I think he's allowed to also do that. I mean, it happens. He's allowed for it to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he later on apologizes to whomever the aggression, the outburst, I should say, was directed to or at, then that's their issue.
And I think that if you're a musician, sometimes you would have more or less have to do more wonky shifts. I mean, it's sometimes you would have to, if you're recording an album, for example, or recording a music video, sometimes you would have to stay, at least when it comes to music videos, you would sometimes have to stay awake until like early in the morning, or sometimes even days in a row to get it done with like just a few hours of sleep.
It's not as glamorous as people think it is. That's the thing. It's not. I mean, we all know. Just look at like actors. I like the TV series Vikings.
Yeah.
And if when it was really popular, and you could follow the actors and actresses on Instagram, you could see that they were sitting in the fucking cold.
Yeah.
For like 6-7 hours. Some of them were just sitting and waiting for their turn to have their shot done.
Yeah.
And they had to be on set in the fucking rain. Sure, they had some comfort, but it's still cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they still had to just be there because when you're gonna be called, you're gonna have to come immediately because you have to do this. We don't have time to wait for them to be like, oh yeah, I'm at this restaurant, get dressed again. No, you sit there and wait for like 7 hours. And
Absolutely.
they have to wait even more. I mean, it's tiring. I can imagine some people have like. I don't think they were so happy-go-lucky every single fucking moment.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that they had to wait for like hours before it was their shot, and they had to be available. They had to be there on set, just fucking waiting, and it's normal. I mean, I could imagine them not being so happy-go-lucky all the time sitting in the cold. I mean, just again, Manson is allowed to have feelings and to be tired, and I mean, I can imagine he has reacted. I mean, he's had a long career. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has reacted badly several times. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, why is it like you can't scream abuse all the time? Nobody walks around. Okay, I'm not going to say nobody because perhaps there is someone. Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Let me just say like that. Who the fuck walks around life, their whole fucking life, never ever showing anything that could be considered aggression or could be considered being angry, you know?
Yeah.
That type of, who the fuck walks around their whole life like that, never showing any type of irritation or any negative feeling? I'd like to know. Just
me too. But basically, that's what their whole lawsuits are about. If we're gonna mention them, he was basically he was having a meltdown, which everybody does sometimes.
Yeah, it happens.
So if you
and the whole, I mean, and as I've said before, I've said in other of our videos, this is just, they're trying to change history. And they're trying to make themselves into something they were not, because they have obviously evolved into this. And they don't want to stand behind their choices they made when they were younger. Well, you know, a part of being an adult and being responsible is to stand by the shit, good or bad, you've done when you were younger, and be able to say, okay, if this was me now, I would not have done it, but I did it back then and I learned from it. You know what I mean? But they don't want to go that road. They just want to point fingers. They just want to point at him and say, he's the reason why I did it. He is the reason I chose to do this. Like,
which is just eye rolling, actually.
Yeah, and it's also very immature behavior and narcissistic behavior to never ever, in my opinion, to never ever take responsibility for any of your actions. They're just projecting it. They're just throwing shit on him, saying he's the reason why I took drugs. He's the reason why I had the Hitler mustache. Yeah. No, he's not. I mean, look like for Esme, for example. So he forced her during those 3 days. The first time she met him, during those 3 days, he managed within just her landing, apparently, to be in her head and manipulate her so much that she was forced to do drugs. She needs help.
She does.
If you're that easily manipulated within just a couple of minutes or half an hour, then there's some other diagnosis maybe going on with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think that. I guess if you would have been groomed as a child, I guess you would still have that mindset, and I would understand that. And I don't know if they were actually actually have if they've actually been through that as children, but
No, I don't think
which
so.
it doesn't sound like it. So for them
No,
to be
because
act that naive, if they really did, you need help. They need help. I mean, and I'm not.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Esme has that background that she has.
Yeah.
And even if she had it, then she would have overcome it, because look at her career choice, and she has had.
Yeah.
She was in a marriage also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's.
And she's been acting before she had to do with Manson. You know, she was in other movies in England. So I mean, she's had a social life.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have had much of a social life if she had that background, being abused and manipulated as a kid and forced to do drugs as a kid, because she would be strung down by now. By then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Before she met Manson. So.
Absolutely. And also, I think that it's strange of her to say that it's Manson's fault that she did all the sexual stuff, when she has always been about doing sexual stuff.
I mean, that's her career before.
Yeah. And even in Game of Thrones, there are a ton of episodes with her when she was still a part of the show, which is, I guess you could say, it represents reenacting rape and torture and polyamory, and just, I don't know if they had sex for real or whatnot, but it's a lot of sexual stuff.
Yeah, she would have been very triggered by it. So
yeah, and I think she was in the show for like 2 or 3 seasons, and that's many years.
Yeah. It takes a lot of time to film 2 or 3 seasons. So it's not like it's done 6 months. So
no.
Yeah. I mean, all of them. It's just so hard for me to see how they could have a functioning career while they were being abused, as they claim, the way they say they have been abused.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been abused before, and must be almost 10 years ago. I would say, when that partner, almost 10 years ago, when he was very physically and mentally abusing me. Still to this day, if someone takes my face, I can't, because he choked me a lot, like put his hand over my face or my throat, and he could hold my face and just scream in my ears and whatnot. But if somebody touches my mouth, just for fun, like, cover someone's mouth a bit, I still get like, I get like flashbacks from that.
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah. So how the fuck did she do those scenes with a straight face and not be a total complete fucking wreck?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm wondering the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she would have been like, really now, and I'm not joking. She should be in a fetal position.
Yeah.
Needing help.
Absolutely.
And she just has someone take a photo of her whip marks, the whip marks of in that series, and be like, oh, I have to post this on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, look, this is fake abuse, but I was with. No, come on.
I mean, to me, it looks pretty obvious that it's just makeup, because it doesn't look. It doesn't look real to me.
No, but
and I'm not trying to. Yeah. We're not trying to discriminate her or anything for anything that she's said, but I'm just saying that the makeup on her back, the whip marks on her back, I should say, it looks fake, because I could see that it was behind the scenes of something. So
yeah, but she's using it like, look, this was really hard for me to do. This is not real, of course, but I was so traumatized by doing this scene and whatnot. No, apparently not, because you were just doing it. I mean, Did the production team even see her be so traumatized? Like, she would have been, again, in a fetal position. Really, it would be really, really hard for her to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not buying
No,
it.
she still did all those rape, torture, and polyamory scenes.
Yeah, I mean,
for
there's
many
so
years.
Yeah, and there's so much. They have done so many things that should be so triggering for them, and should be, how to say. And again, I'm not saying like, oh, victims only act like this. Real victims act like this. No, I'm not saying that, but just based on science, and this should be hard for them to do.
Yeah.
For her to be like, this was really hard when I did it. When was she in Game of Thrones?
It was between, according to Wikipedia, 2011 and 2013, so 2 years.
Okay. But she didn't know she was abused until fall 2020. Yet, she talks about how it was to do those scenes with the abuse she has suffered. Like, fuck you. How the fuck? You didn't know you were being abused then, according to your own fucking words and your own fucking lawsuit. Yet you go back and come on. Oh wow, sorry.
I mean, started. She even spoke about it in like, I think 2019, on both her Twitter and Instagram.
Subject line, see what happens. Okay, well, we're missing a lot of context here, and I mentioned this on my, I believe I commented on this on other fan pages, but I might have also mentioned this on my own fan account on Instagram. But where's the context? How do we know that he's, meaning it as a threat? We don't. So then she goes on and says that he manipulates the whole thing just to keep people scared and isolated. Okay, but once again, where's the context? I'm just saying that they're picking and choosing what they're publishing. They're picking and choosing what they're showing to these journalists, what they're probably going to show to the court, instead of the entire picture. It's like, anyone could mean anything with something like that. There is no specificity to what that means. See what happens could mean anything. But in this article, they're going to twist it to fit the whole Manson and abuse narrative. And I'm not buying it. I'm not. I mean, I want to see more proof. Like, I want to see the entire conversation.
And same with Ashley Walters and our favorite Smith Lie.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if she did those scenes in 2011 to 13, she talks about those scenes in 19.
Yeah.
Or even 18, I think, about how hard it was. And she was blah, blah, blah. But you didn't know you were abused until fall 2020. It doesn't add up. Because if you did those scenes in 11, 12, and 13, and it was really hard for you to do those because you had been abused and whatnot, but how?
Yeah, and I think that even the production crew and the directors of Game of Thrones would have actually seen it, and I think that the public eye would have seen it as well, whenever she's naked, which is honestly a lot because it's a lot of sexual stuff in that.
Yeah.
That
she
series.
Didn't know she was abused. How the fuck did it affect her?
No. But my point is that everyone, like producers, co-actors, co-stars, and directors, producer, the whole production team would have seen everything, and we, when it was released, we would have seen it as well.
That's the thing. There's nothing logical about this, so no.
No, but at least not if you really look into it like we've done for the past few months.
Yeah, but the thing is that just the Phoenix Act alone, that they made these statements in 2018.
Yeah.
That alone goes, you just need that part.
Yeah.
You just need that part for it to just crumble, for the lawsuit
Yeah.
to just crumble and fall apart, because
Absolutely.
they've
Yeah.
all stated that they didn't know until fall 2020, and some even later in 2020.
Yeah.
Yet you knew all this when you were in front of the committee in 18.
Yeah.
Again, just by that alone, it should be thrown out.
Yeah. Yeah. It should have been tossed out the window a long time ago.
Yeah. So
at least that's what I think.
Yeah. So you don't even have to dig.
No.
No.
I mean, at this point, everything is just a plain view. So you can go to Instagram and search for like different accounts. It's there. It's all there.
It is. Yeah.
So
don't worry, we do the work for you. You just have to look at it.
Yeah.
I personally wish that they would have put more of what Paula had to say in this article. I mean, I'm really just wanting some journalists from somewhere to give more of a less biased view of things here. Like, if you're going to talk about both sides, talk about it equally. Like, sure, okay, fine. You want to talk about everything the accusers are saying? Go for it. But make sure you include the other side of this, too. Alright? Like, it basically, for Paula's part, they chose to say he's, out of what she said, this is what they picked and chose for this article. He's a very kind, sensitive person, even if he's codependent. They talk about how she said she cried her eyes out whenever she met him, and then how she went on to be his assistant. She said that he doesn't fare well being alone, which I'm sure they took that to try to twist it to make it seem as though he's unstable, when really that's just more a reflection of the kind of person he is. And I'm very much sure and positive when I say this that Paula wouldn't have meant that in a negative way whatsoever. But the way things are worded in this article, it's trying to plant this idea in your mind that Manson is abusive, that he's everything that they want you to believe. And just like the way that you see they word things, you see they're trying to shape that in your mind. And then it says that she stopped working for him in late 2009, that he never behaved violently in her presence, and that she returned to assist him from 2012 to 2016. And then she says, I find it hard to believe that he would be capable of the physical abuse that the lawsuits describe. And that's it. Out of a 2-hour conversation, she chose to publish. I mean, I'm grateful that her voice was heard, obviously. But I mean, come on. A couple paragraphs, like maybe like 3 or 4 sentences she had to say out of a 2-hour-long conversation. I mean, come on. Like, please, like I said, post the entirety of things. These articles need to be more balanced. Like I said before, it's frustrating to go and read this stuff. It's just article after article after article after article after article, and it's all negative press. Like, I mean, where are the true journalists at? Where are the investigative journalists who can actually, like, look into things, grow a pair? Like, come on. There's 2 sides here, but yet you want to mute the other side. You want to make it seem with this article that you're not, because you're throwing in little bits and pieces. But essentially, for taking a 2-hour-long interview with Paula and condensing it into a couple sentences that you publish, you're basically muting what she had to say. You're muting the other side. And, I've kind of given up hope at this point that there's ever going to be equality when it comes to journalism, like these articles from Manson. But I'm hoping somebody, somewhere, grows a pair and will do it. I'm really hoping, because, like I said before, they talked about in the very beginning how Manson's image has changed due to this. And no, it's like, really, Manson's image has changed because that's when you have warned things, that's when you have approached this whole situation from the gate. That's the reason why. Because you're only talking about the one side. And with this article, sure, okay, you threw in a couple sentences, but you're still not covering the other side.
Okay, so I'm gonna look through the site now because I have the article on my computer, so I can read it out loud. And this is what J. Elwanger said. I don't know how to pronounce his last name because it's, in my opinion, it's really weird. But this is what he said to the LA Times. All of my clients spoke to law enforcement about their dealings with Mr. Warner, and investigation is ongoing. But when my clients file civil lawsuits, they're taking ownership of the situation themselves and not leaving it to other people to pursue justice. What do you think he's trying to say?
First of all,
or what's your thought? What are your thoughts about it?
First of all, are they really taking ownership of what? They're not taking ownership of it. Yeah, exactly. The situation themselves. No, they're just trying to cash in. Because just the line and the section before that one you read, it's about Rubio, who said that she also formally submitted a request to the FBI to open an investigation into Manson's conduct. So I'm thinking this.
Yeah.
Say Smithline and Esme did go to the police, to law enforcement, I mean, and filed a complaint or fucking empty. Fucking tired of this shit now. And they're like, oh yeah, he raped me and whatever the process is. And they investigated it and were like, yeah, we can't find any evidence. I'm sorry, we can't do anything with this. This is 10 years ago or 8 years ago, whatever the case may be, each of them. So you have Rubio then going on to FBI saying, you know, you have to open an investigation. Look at all this evidence against him and whatnot. Just that fact, that thing alone, she's a politician. Just the fact that a politician can just disturb the FBI in that sense. Yeah. When law enforcement has investigated and not found any evidence, so this Rubio goes. This is all connected to Heaven and the Phoenix Act and whatnot. Goes, just harasses the FBI, open an investigations. Like, this is scary, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think even Evan and Ashley has pressured their followers to pretty much do the same. So
yeah, and that's just fucking mental. Like, we are gonna, not we, but these followers are gonna just take their time to harass, because that's harassment, like emailing, bombarding them.
Yeah.
This bombarding, they go love bombing. So this is like bombing them with that, saying you have to look into this, he's this and that. And so again, here we go back with the propaganda thing. The more people put in pressure or saying something, they have to do it or it becomes the truth.
Yeah.
So then they're asking people to take FBI or law enforcement's time to investigate this and not investigate other things that are more urgent.
Yeah.
And not only more urgent, where there's actually proof and evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fucking mental.
I mean, I think, and I think that even, I'm not too sure, but I think that it's illegal to do that because it's false reports.
Yeah, exactly. And they are actually they're asking people to do this.
Yeah.
And they're asking people from any country to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
And Evan has almost 1 million followers on Instagram, so that's really, really, really screwed.
Yeah.
It's screwed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucked up.
Yeah.
Can't say anything else.
No, and about the investigation thing, LAPD did go to Manson's house to like sort of do a swarming or whatever it's called. I'm Swedish, I don't know, but if they would have found something, I think they would have brought it over to. So, I mean, if not the FBI, but to their own police station. And I think they would have moved from there, and then it could have gone to criminal court instead. But they found, and there would have been updates. But I haven't seen any. We haven't seen anything since February.
No, and I think didn't Manson's lawyers say that there was no ongoing investigation against their client?
Yeah.
Which is, and here you have this J. Elwiner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Elwiner. I have no idea. Saying that there is an ongoing investigation, and the accusers have said the same. So who knows what the truth is?
It's basically just like they're throwing balls at each other, you know. Because it's this thing, no, it's that thing, it's this thing, that thing, no. What is it? and
just look at this the last paragraph, the last thing that Bianco says. He's been supported professionally by an entire industry and a code of the road, Bianco said.
Yeah.
There are so many men like him, and for some reason that reckoning hasn't come yet. So we can just sit back, no, not sit back, but we can just wait for more people to be going through this, I should say.
Yeah.
I have a guess. I can guess some people who are gonna get shit for their behaviors, and this sort of thing should not be out in the media. If something has happened to you, if you've been raped, if you've been abused, go to the authorities. Go via those channels, and don't blast it out in the media like this, because it doesn't look good for you.
No.
It doesn't look good, and it doesn't look good for future victims. For future victims. Either.
No. And that's basically, I mean, that's what I found strange to be, like the first thing that was strange. They all went to journalists and their social media instead of the police.
Yeah.
Like the first thing that they did. So, and I get that some people are, it's scary. I get that. It's scary to just they say that I was abused. I can understand that, but I think that it would be smarter to go via the police first and alert them that this has happened. If not to yourself, but to a friend or a family member whatsoever. But don't run to journalists before that, or your social media accounts, because that's not going to give you a good look in 5 years.
No, and not only that, I mean, do they have that little trust in their own laws and criminal court and court system in general?
Yeah,
they don't trust the criminal court. Yeah, exactly. They don't trust the criminal court, but they trust the civil court.
Which is even more bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly. Their civil court is bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I saw where she had said that it was really hard for her to do this shoot and that she was crying the entire time. Yet she doesn't look like she was crying. She doesn't look affected whatsoever. To her, this is a big payout. You know, she's thrilled. She got her modeling career back. And I mean, also, I know Ella and Rita had mentioned this, but she was paid. What was it? Paid partnership, paid something, but she was paid for these photos to be taken. And for what? Like, in my opinion, that's not how a true victim would act. Everyone knows how I feel about Ashley, so I'm not going to continue to go on and on and on about her. But I just wanted to mention, her warrior pose picture here. But yet she was so traumatized enough to where she's lining her pockets with cash, right?
And if this would have actually happened to them, wasn't there a police station like just a few blocks away from Manson's house? Like just a few minutes away by foot.
Yeah, and I have to say that it doesn't look so good when you're taking money to do these interviews.
No.
and then just say like, oh yeah, I'm not gaining anything from this. I just want him to be held accountable and face justice. But how?
Justice how? It's civil court we're talking about.
Yeah, and also you're also taking money to do these interviews. Yeah.
So
like you're getting paid to be a victim. This is not a movie. You're getting paid to be a real life. Victim.
Yeah.
That's really not in good taste whatsoever.
No. Gives me a really bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, extremely.
We're not going to give up. Manson deserves to have people on his side, and we're going to be the ones that are going to stand up and say, hey, you need to look at this. Hey, this is wrong. Hey, there's an inconsistency here. Hey, there's this. Hey, there's that. We're going to be that voice. And, hopefully soon we won't be the only ones. Since, everything with Kanye and then everyone coming out on Colonel Kurtz's channel, I'm really hoping that more and more people come out in support of Manson, and that more and more people can see what we're trying to say, and actually truly listen to what we're trying to say, and see the evidence that's out there that proves that Manson is innocent. But like I said, until then, we will be here. We support Marilyn Manson. We stand with Marilyn Manson, and that's it.
But was that it? Was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, not this time.
No, me either. Reminder, we're still having a giveaway.
Yep. And subscribe.
Yeah. And like the video and leave a comment.
Exactly.
Give us feedback if you want to. We appreciate it. Because we're still learning. This is still new to us.
Yeah.
And thank you for hanging out this long with us. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Wait, oops. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
So that's pretty much all I have to say. I believe Ella and Rita did a great job covering everything else. Thank you for your time and everything, and paying attention to what we have to say, for giving us a voice on a platform. And continue to follow us. Continue to follow our Instagram page. Continue to follow our YouTube channel, because we will be coming out with everything